In a world with entirely too many shows about cars, this is another pointless automotive podcast.
Hello, Chadwick.
Hello, Frank.
How the heck are you, sir?
Doing good. Drinking the banquet course. Cobra Kai never dies.
Are they left over from
dude?
from previous weekendage? I have no leftover beverages.
Shaking feverishly. There's like 3.
Right. Well, there you go. Well, good job on the doing damage on your 30 rack of the banquet beers. And I suppose we should probably tell the good listener what they're left over from. Which is the DWA, the Driving Whilst Awesome Sierra Rally number 4. And we talked a big game leading up to it. We did not die.
True.
I don't think. Hold on. This is some like afterlife situation. I don't know.
From the afterlife.
Spooky, but it's not time for the spooky Halloween edition. So we're not coming from beyond the grave. But we lived to tell the tale. I had a good time. You had a good time. I drove a car. You drove a car. And I suppose the wise thing after all that shop talk about it and what we're doing to prep and how one should approach such a thing, that we unwind this thing and we rewind, he tried to say, and recap what we did. I like your shirt, good sir.
Yeah, I'm wearing the official shirt of the Sierra Rally 4. And first off, before we get into it, big thanks to the dudes at DWA that throw this awesome event together and draw in such a cool like a crowd of like-minded individuals who all gel pretty well together, and it's a pretty awesome mix and cool cars and always a good time. So big shout out to you dudes. That would be Art, Lane, and Warren of DWA fame.
Yep. And all of our friends that normally come along for such a thing. That's there's countless. And we make new ones every time we go on these things. And every time, I mean, this is the second one that I've been on. This is the second one you've been on. So, we're not exactly like hardened, battle-tested veterans on the rally just yet. But we did get some miles in. And we had a good time. I speaking for me anyways, had a killer time. And how was it from your perspective? What did you bring? How did you bring it?
Dude, yeah. And before we even talk about cars, how about a shout out to our navigators? Because we both brought in the world of rally. Yeah, in the world of rally, what you would not call a standard issue navigator. So Frank brought his mom to the rally. And I brought my pregnant fiance. So
as one does.
We were playing the wild card on this one. And dude, it was awesome. By the way, my fiance loves your mom. And she said we need to have her as a guest on the pod. And I fully agree with that statement.
Many people said that over the, which I'm okay. I'll probably take some shrapnel on that episode, but I'm comfortable with it. I'll catch a few strays, but it'll be fine because it'll be in good spirits or not. I don't know. But yeah, my mom, similar deal. So my mom had a killer time. She tolerated the fast sections. She enjoyed the leisurely sections. She really enjoyed the hangs and the people, which is, 51% of the reason why we go to these things is just the camaraderie, and the hangs and the drinking of Coors Banquet beers, post rally action and just really fun times with incredibly good people, like to a human being. Just every single person in attendance is a dope human, including the people that we drug with us in your fiance and my mother. So yeah, I mean, really good time. And for those who are not well apprised on what this drive entailed, just a quick, super quick recap on how this went down. Drove up Thursday night to start bright and shiny early on Friday morning. So this took place Friday, all day driving, Saturday, all day driving, and then a half day on Sunday, and all surrounding the town of Sonora, which is in the Sierra foothills, the western side of the Sierras, and hub and spoke. So you drive out, you do some really cool driving for 6 to 8 hours, and then you come on back. And so you stay in the same hotel each night. You have the same hangs in the same parking lots each night, and all with the same people, generally speaking. And it's a really cool setup, really cool part of the country that I'd never spent any appreciable time in. And just, I mean, that's just the general layout on how it all went down, just logistically and functionally. What kind of automobile? I know you were talking a big game about the Nissan bringing that, but I don't. Did it make its debut? What went down there?
Unfortunately, the weather was rather unseasonably hot. Like we saw temps.
Day one was cooking.
Yeah, once you got in the elevations, it was okay. But day one and day two down low, we were in the 90s, which is like not comfortable to be with a pregnant woman in a T-top car with no AC. Mm-hmm. So rather than die, I opted to stay alive and take my Mini Cooper S, which in turn ended up like, the Mini Boys. There were 5 Mini Coopers at this rally, and there were supposed to be 6, and one didn't make it, last minute dropped out. But it was so cool. Like the Mini, like I know the car. When I did the review, I basically said at this price point, nothing can touch this car. Up in the canyons and driving in that kind of fashion. And I stand by it even more now because I pushed there. I'm not going to lie. So I pushed the other Mini guys were pretty fast. They were all modified. I was the only stock Mini Cooper. We pushed. I went 9/10 quite a few times. We had I ran with a spicy group day 3, and
you went hard day 3.
Was not lacking on this car, and I am so overly impressed. It's purely a stock car. Like I said, I have 300 treadwear Yokohama Advan Flevia tires, which are a great tire, but I didn't go hardcore. I didn't do suspension mods. Straight up Mini Cooper S, as you would from the factory. And dude, I'm bummed that I didn't take the NX. I still think that would have been the cooler car, but this Mini Cooper, boy, she's spicy. I mean, S is for spicy, dude.
It's not something that either one of us don't know. I mean, we've talked about your Mini and the Mini and our experiences with, specifically the R53 series Minis in the past. And bang for your buck, they're pretty incredible. Because you can get a very sorted S6 speed for $6,500.
You're gonna have to do things that probably
moderately sorted.
Yeah, I think around 8 is when you start to get a pretty clean example, which is a lot of car for that price.
Under 100,000 miles.
Yeah, like a properly fast, not just it wasn't only fast in the small technical stuff, like in the 80-90 mile an hour range. It just, the thing pulls out of a corner like no one's business.
Yeah, each wheel's at each corner.
Supercharger comes on instantly.
Especially, I mean, we were doing a lot of altitude,
right?
And to bury the lead a little bit, and I know we talked about a pre-rally. I was in the S2000,
right?
2006 S2000. We turned 71,000 miles on the drive up there.
Oh, nice.
And a little bit different at altitude, right? Like that is it's weird to say the most naturally aspirated car, but an S2000 is like the most naturally aspirated.
Very naturally aspirated. Yeah.
I mean, that's fuel injected anyways. And so, it was a little bit, you lost probably a gear and a half worth of power at 8,000 feet, 9,000 feet around the tip at the top that we were hustling at. Yeah. Just the tip of the top. I don't know. I'm not going to get overly anatomical here, but different than the Mini, right? Forced induction, not turbocharged, but supercharged,
right?
And just what a good car, effectively no real hiccups from the Mini. The Honda was a Honda, so that's fine.
Yeah, my Mini's a pretty low mileage example too, because I just turned 88K. 88K on this trip, so that's pretty low. A lot of the guys were higher than that, but they were modified. So but man, just really surprised what it can do. I think my fiance was the most surprised because she, to the non enthusiast that's ever rung out one of these cars, it looks cute. It's a cute
That's what
car.
my mom was saying. My mom the whole time was like, wow, these little Minis, like these adorable
I should have taken your mom for a ride
pushing.
In it. That's what I should have done. She would have been like, good Lord, what is this
There's
thing?
A whole other dimension of joke in there somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But like they're just I don't want to say undefeated at that price point, but I think they not for a lot of situations, specifically for this situation, like
I mean, we
carving up like kind
dude.
of some tight technical turns with some bigger, faster stuff where some of the roads are a little choppy and it's good to have some ground clearance. Like a stock Mini of that era is a very, very, very potent item.
It's a good all-around car too, because it has sports car performance. But dude, we put you and your mom in the back. You can seat adults in the back. It's a hatchback, so you can fold the seats and carry stuff. AC, modern amenities. It's a pretty good argument for an affordable enthusiast car, and that's what my review was when I reviewed it, dude. I was like, this is the next NA Miata.
Yeah,
like, I see it coming. Like, I see the values of these like clean ones. You know how they are. Most of them are like beat to shit, need a clutch, need a, you know.
I can't disagree with you. That is the quote unquote next.
It is
the next Miata. I can't agree with you, but I can't disagree with you. Like
here we go. So
reflexively, I want to disagree with you because it's like, but it's front wheel drive and and it's
how did that look in actual like execution? Though?
This is why I can't disagree with you.
It left a lot of faster cars being like, why is there a Mini in my rear view at full like bore? Driver mod maybe a little bit too, but anyway, just like the way this car goes. And here's my argument though, is like the NA Miata was the NA Miata because the price was so goddamn like basement bottom prices for so long. Now it's not the case. It's right. We can stock Miatas are now 8 to 9 to 10,000 for decent ones.
I'm trying to think of what would be comparable.
240 SX, no.
You know what I bet you
E36 M3, no.
You know what I bet you could get?
Let's hear it.
You'd have to buy tires for it, but I'm going to assume you have to buy tires for anything, right? In
sure.
that, let's say $8,000 to $10,000 range.
Yeah.
When that's not, and one that's just
that's the high end of this range.
Fucked.
8 to 10 is going to be a really good one. Yeah.
I'm gonna say SN 95 Mustang Cobra.
Oh, dude, no, you can't get it that cheap.
You absolutely can.
Not one that you're going to want to take immediately on a rally without putting like $2 to $5 grand in.
Clutch, you know what? I bet you can
tires,
find one.
suspension.
I bet you can get one for under 100,000 miles. That's not trash for under 10.
I will challenge you that an SN95 stock against a stock Mini Cooper S on the driving
it's going to be Cobra.
Rally,
SN95
Cobra would still be embarrassed.
With the not 305 horsepower.
Nope, it'd still be embarrassed. It would be.
There's a lot of things it would be worse at, like rattles and such.
Yeah.
Fuel economy.
Handling in general.
At altitude.
Oh, yeah.
Stock to stock, you're probably. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
stock to stock, you're right.
Yeah.
Stock to stock, you're right.
Hot hatches are like that's the thing too, right? They're more of a European thing, but hot hatches are like absolutely magical creatures, man. They like get the daily stuff done and you can like just tear up some like technical roads, some track performance. They just do it.
They all go.
They're parked behind me. There's like, right there's one of them.
No, like hot hatches. Just like you can get you go out and get yourself a GTI
Type R,
a new Civic. Mini. Yeah, but spend $60,000.
Oh, well, that's ADM, but I mean,
okay, stickers, what, 48?
No, they're like low 40s.
Get off my lawn. I can't agree with you, but I can't disagree with you, which means you're probably right.
Yeah, no, I see these things like stock examples with lower mileage like this. I think they're gonna start to creep a little bit and start to become pretty sought after.
Damn it. I'm trying to be contrarian here. Okay.
Yeah. I see it though. I think it's a very safe thing to throw out in the wind.
Well, things that are no longer dangling in the wind are any inexpensive S2000s. Like those don't exist anymore. Really. I mean, you can get one for under 20 if it's got miles and such, but
you might not want that though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think if you find a really good one with like 170 on it that's been like actually maintained, it's still a Honda, right?
Yeah,
got a couple of things you're gonna have to take care of.
So clean title ones, yeah.
Soft
salvage
tops.
title, I would avoid the salvage title $18,000 S2000 all day.
Yeah, because have you ever like really looked at the suspension components on an S2000? They are spindly. Like the control arms are real thin and just cast aluminum, and it's salvage title one is not what I would go with. But
yeah, where the radiators cocked at a weird angle because they couldn't patch it up quite right.
Yeah,
not worth
work. But yeah, ultimately, what I'm trying to say is, As predicted, the S2000 did not disappoint. It was truly flawless. There were no moments where, now my mother in tow, I wasn't exactly driving 9/10. Probably at peak 7 or 8/10, maybe on day one, but probably not. Probably more 7/10 pace, which is good. That's kind of where I want to live on these things.
Yeah,
generally, as like an overarching thing. I don't want to be that guy, for lack of a better way to put it. And thankfully, for the most part on these things, there aren't really hardly any of that guys.
Sure.
So if you do put something on its top, you are that guy. And so that's not where I want to be.
You can only lose.
That said, you can only lose. You can't win. And so a lot of fun. PS4S's are straight magic on that car. Super, super, super sticky, and just really good. Because that car is bone stock, like, other than the timing chain tensioner, which I did last minute. Genuinely last 12 hours before I had to leave. So got that in, but otherwise completely stock. It did very well. AC was good when I needed it, which we did. It's funny. Day one, did a little bit of top up driving, which timed out perfectly for when we hit a dirt section. So we should get into the breakdown.
So that's my next.
What went down.
My next question was your favorite section of the rally, and why was it the dirt section?
It was not dirt McGurp, although that was fun in the moment. It was just like, okay, we're just gonna see where this goes, and so I guess let me rewind real quick. We went to lunch. Right after lunch, we were supposed to hit a new patch of road, which road closed, which doesn't usually happen, but sometimes it happens. And so we were all kind of sitting there scrambling at lunch, and I believe it was Mr. Artemis. Is it Artemis? I'm going Artemis. Artemis Cervantes.
Definitely not Arturo.
Not Arturo. I'm going
more acceptable.
I'm going Artemis. Artemis Prime. He had a we busted out, and he said, "Hey, look, these twisty roads. These are going to be cool. Let's take these." And when you see them on a map, great. And I think he went and pre-ran them. He went like a couple miles down the road. Looked great. Came back, said, "Yeah, let's do it." So he disseminated out this plan B to everyone. Everyone went about their business, and so it was Rich Chen in his at 93 NA, and he will be the first to tell you it's non-turbo. Toyota MR2, beautiful car, fabulous little car. Followed by Todd in his R32 GTR, black on black, also very pretty.
Gojira.
Then me and my mom in the S2000, and you in the you and Lindsay in the R53. Why can I never remember? I'm really bad at mini chassis codes. It's a sickness. It's a problem. So we all follow the thing. We're going down the road, and then all of a sudden it's gravel that quickly turned into dirt, like dirt McGirt dirt.
Yep.
Very washboardy, occasional dry creek beds that you have to ford.
Yeah, complete washed out sections you had to go pretty careful over.
Yeah, but which is not something from my perspective of like that one would do in an S2000. But ahead of me is an R32, and I'm like, that guy's bringing up his R32. Sure, it's all-wheel drive, but we don't need any of that in this scenario. If he breaks things, like, it's difficult and expensive. I have no excuses. I'm just going to follow his lead. And so that's what we did. And it was 12 miles, maybe?
Yeah, I think that was the final tally. Yeah, it was quite a jaunt, if you will. An unexpected journey with Dildo Baggins.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Sure. I'm just going to let that one sit. Let that one marinate in the Baggins. You shall not pass, but we did, and we made it out on the other side. Cars were quite dirty, but I'm very glad. Just we left lunch, and I was like, it's kind of hot. We'll leave the top up. And then, less than 5 miles later, we're just like fording rivers, and it's like super incredibly dusty. And I'm very glad we had the top up. How about you? What was your favorite section? Because there were a lot of various sections. Really, really pretty country.
Absolutely.
Eastern Sierras, Western Sierras, up and over Monitor Pass, Ebbets Pass, Sonora Pass. A lot of cool stuff. What was your favorite?
Passing the gas, yeah, definitely. So my favorite section, dirt, I really liked a lot. It was like Rally to Monte Carlo with the old school mini. So that was pretty fun. But the crest of the mountain, so there was like basically effectively a 1-lane road that had too much traffic coming the other way. If we could have closed that down and done time trials, I would have been
like Ebbets Pass, right?
Yeah, that would have been absolutely nasty. There were a few times where folks kind of were on my side of the road because it was you and me at that point. We were kind of going over that part together. And there was a motorcyclist that came around the corner on our side, which was a very smart thing to do. If you're a motorcyclist, definitely put yourself in the most peril as possible because we were moving pretty good, but we were pretty cautious. But anyway, when we got on top of that section, the most idyllic scene. There's like 2 little ponds lined with lily pads.
Can't get it out of my mind.
You ready for this? Old guy, fishing chair, drinking a beer, fishing rod in hand, waving and smiling, just absolutely living his best life. Like he was posed on top of that mountain, right at the crest, to take that opportune time to say, "Howdy, folks." That was probably my favorite section. It was freaking gorgeous. That was really cool. There. We're definitely going to be going back there for a family adventure. I think we solidified that in that one moment. But honestly, that was probably my favorite. Like just that moment in time was probably it for a section of it. The dirt, obviously good. And the third day was for just technical driving. The third day cannot be beat. It was just absolutely high speed technical, good mix of higher speed and then lower speed technical stuff. I just gourmet.
Yeah, it was Mosquito Lake. If y'alls are by a computer or a smartphone, just go look up Mosquito Lake, which is right off of Highway 4 in the Western Sierras here. It's right down the road from another lake called Lake Alpine, and incredibly pretty. Looked it up. I was just like, I gotta find a way. There's a campground there.
Yeah.
Truly idyllic. And so
gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. That was one of the absolute highlights was that little stretch. And what's fun is, so that's on Highway 4. Highway 4, 3 hours west, is a mile and a half from where I'm talking from right now. Like it's just like right there. Like I can see it. I hear traffic in the morning. If I have my windows open, I can hear the traffic on Highway 4. If I just get on that. So here's how it would work. I turn out of my driveway. I make a right. I make one more right turn. I make one left turn. And I'm done turning.
This is a 10th
until I get to that lake.
Your map quest would be a 10th of a sheet of paper.
Exactly. Yeah, I can follow some GeoCities website description and make it there. Maybe Angel Fire, but it's really cool. And that was kind of the overarching theme. There was a lot of really pretty places I've never been to. And how about a shout out for some of these little towns that we stopped into? Was it Hornitos, California? That we stopped in, and there was basically a restroom and like there was like a dive bar that was closed, and that's kind of it. And then, you're like Copperopolis, and what's the name of the town that has the frog jumping competition?
Begins with a C as well.
They all begin with a C.
It's ridiculous. Can't remember.
Not Coulter. It wasn't Coulterville. Coulterville, I believe that was the friendliest town in America, and they're using town pretty liberally there because it's
something.
It's a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
If that, yeah. And there's a lot of that, like 50-person little hole in the wall towns, old. Vestiges of the gold rush and boom towns from 150 years ago, and just really, really interesting stuff that most people don't get to experience, and getting to experience it with a group of like-minded people. And in between each of these little stops and these little places you would have never ventured into is like dope roads with good driving and a cast of characters that are looking to tackle them with you.
Yep.
Recommend.
That is it.
No fatalities. That was good. Minor breakdownage. Not for us. There were a couple of people had a couple of minor snafus. Nothing crazy. an errant tire replacement here or there, or a misfire, or an oil leak, but pretty good. And there were some people pushing some kind of elderly tin, for lack of a better way to put it. I mean, there were a couple of BMW 2002s.
Yep.
There was a freaking Pantera. There was like a 72 Di Tommaso Pantera that was really dope. There was of course, John Jesse and his Rabbit, the evergreen Rabbit. What else was there on the older scale? I guess there wasn't a couple of 944s.
Bucci and his 968. His Volvo is pretty.
That's right. Bucci gang. So yeah, I'm trying to think what's it gonna be next time, right? If I've got my mom with me, I feel obligated to take her car, but it's not even her car. It's not even my car. It's my son's car. So I don't know.
I feel like it's taboo to show up in the same car. I think we have to bring something.
I agree.
Each time, right?
I agree. It's it's just like you can't go to the Oscars in the same dress every year, right?
Especially me.
Can you? I don't know. Yeah,
it's hard for me to keep my form that long.
That's true. Yeah, this hourglass takes a lot of maintenance.
Emphasis on the hour ass. But dude, I don't know. I think if I still got the NX, if I'm holding on to that for a little bit, I think that's still a perfect fit for something like this. I think especially
looking like spring.
Yeah, it's weird. It's great handling. It's fast enough. I think it'll be a pretty good rally car. T-tops are fun too if the weather's nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to fire sale everything, so I don't know. I don't want to go back to the Galant, but that would be cool. That would be killer.
So I'm thinking the same thing. I'm thinking of my Galant. It'll give me motivation to like finally do that. But
Galant boys.
I think I'm going to be sneaky though. I think I'm going to do. So I've got some suspension like already for the car. I think I'm going to do a 16G turbo. I'm going to do some sneaky boy stuff, man, and like get a little more power out of it and dial it in, make it a little more better ride. Yeah.
Yeah, I can handle that. That sounds smart. Who knows? Maybe there's a puncher's chance that my Barracuda will be done by then, and that would be bananas, and it would break down. There's a 100% chance something would break. But it's pretty low tech.
The Neon ACR I got parked out there wouldn't be half bad too as one of these. I think that would be kind of a lot of fun.
That would be cool. I mean, so we've done 2 of these. Have there been no Mopar products, right?
Oh, is that right?
I don't think there wasn't any on this one. I don't think there was one on the other on the coastal range just about a year ago. I'm sure they've had to have had some. Somebody's brought a Viper, I'm sure, at some point, or
or a Neon SRT4 or something to that. I think that'd be a good car for one of these. Actually, I think that'd be a fantastic.
It would be good, like a stock-ish one would be killer. The problem is those are very cool. So many of them were like tuner boy specials.
Have you ever seen a stock one? I've never seen a stock one.
I've seen them for sale. I don't think I've ever seen a stock one in person.
Yeah, they don't exist in the real world.
Yeah, I don't. I like the thought of bringing something that's like kind of incongruent.
PT Cruiser, I know.
I was gonna say 6-speed SSR.
Oh, okay, gross.
Like that would be that would be put a blower on it. But
oh god,
I don't know. We've got time.
Yeah,
and I'm sure this topic will come back again. But like, yeah. So golf clap to our friends, the organizers that put this one on. If you are listening from somewhere that does not have access to this particular rally, good news. This sort of thing has gained significant popularity recently. I know there are other places, at least up and down the West Coast, that have different rallies, whether it's the BCR rally or it's the Overcrest rally or some of these other rallies that are around. Ask around, shop around, do it. Whatever it is in your regionality, just figure it out because it's a good time. You'll meet incredible people. I don't know, like you made lasting memories with your fiance. I made lasting memories with my mom. Like that's a pretty dope side effect to, this enormous amount of time and money and energy that we're burning on all our car bullshit. Like, if the side effect is like there's some really kind of irreplaceable memories on the other end of it, like I'm okay with that. Like that's cool. You know, it's not about like, oh, I sold this car and made $400 for 900 hours of my time or whatever. Like, because that's very possible, and that happens a lot of times.
That's kind of how I operate, my friend.
Yeah. So shop around if you're out there. If you're local, pay attention to those guys. The Driving While Awesome, DWA. They're homies. They're good. They don't bite. Maybe one day we can dream and be big enough and have our own very legally exposing rally event of our own. I don't know.
Like, I was thinking something completely pointless, like no one can spend more than $1,000 on their car. Because that's in keeping with our theme. So,
or if we want to keep it pointless, have it just be like the Tour de Stockton or something like that, and like we don't leave the inner city of Stockton. We just drive around Stockton and then get our catalytic converter stolen. I don't know.
Yay!
There's got to be something there. I know we were talking briefly at one of the lunches with some of the peeps about maybe that'd be cool to do a K car rally. All K cars, which would be a very slow, very small rally, but it would be interesting and potentially dangerous.
Nothing but highway poles, right?
Oh yeah, everyone just at red line at like 69 miles an hour. Nice. But yeah, it's
good.
It's interesting. I had a good time. I'm looking forward to the next one. I don't know. We didn't execute. I know we talked a little bit about maybe we would have a drunken slovenly live telecasts from the parking lot, which we didn't pull off this year, and we probably won't pull off on the next one. But one can dream.
Speaking of dreaming, I hope you've been dreaming about our next section called the Automotive Print Ad Quiz Game Show. Frank, why don't you bring our faithful listeners up to speed on what we're doing, and I'll get the ad ready for you.
All right, Addy Daddy, pull it up. So the way this works, and please feel free to take copious notes and play along at home. Our print ad quiz game, we're going to call it. It's not a sport. It's a game. The way this works is Chadwick here is going to find a piece of automotive print advertisement from a periodical, usually maybe a newspaper. I don't think we've seen any newspaper clippings yet, but that might happen. It's going to be a print ad from an OEM for one of their automotive products. Chadwick here will read the type copy out of this specific advertisement, and it will be incumbent upon me to guess what make and model and ballpark year that this automobile will be. It's going to be anywhere from the 80s to 90s to the mid 2000s. I will get 3 attempts to guess what this vehicle is. If I misfire and I get I guess and I'm wrong, which I won't, I can ask for a hint or 2 or 12. That's kind of it. I get 10 minutes once Chadwick is done reading the advertisement here. I'm not ready, but I'm going to be ready. How about you, Chadwick? Are you ready?
Yes. And now that we are, databasing and keeping track of the vehicles we cover, we're not going to have any redundancy, are we? So,
or are we?
Maybe. So this ad, my friend, is a single pager, a bunch of text up at the top. Who cares about that shit? But the major background item is you're looking down at a weird isometric angle at the driver's seat and the interior, and it looks completely opulent and some kind of beigeish tan. Who knows what kind of material it's actually made of, but it looks fantastic. At the bottom 1/3 of the screen is the passenger front 3/4 vehicle in black, looking very, very delicious. So there's not a lot, just to preface it, there's not a lot of tech specs in this one, but we're gonna get there. It's a cool car. Here we go. Blank. It feels like your favorite easy chair, only faster. Sporty or comfortable. You no longer have to choose just one. Wow. You can choose blank with its new strategically contoured body sensitive seats. Blank is exceptionally comfortable. Now that's an industry term. If you knew that, you got the car already. And with its spirited 205 horsepower V6 engine, that's a V6. Okay. It's also powerful and athletic. Blank by blank. For more information, call 1-800, and I can't say the rest of that because it gives you the actual make. Frank, that's all you have to work with today. 10 minutes, my friend. There's some stuff in there.
1-800-PONTI.
10 minutes around the clock.
Boy, so opulent, so fast. It's a love seat with some rocket boosters.
Hell yeah.
They didn't go quite We Build Driving Excitement. But in my head, like just as you were reading this, I was picturing this being like the Bonneville SSEI, which would have been the not second gen of the rebirth of the front wheel drive. So that would have been like a 96, 95, 96. That's what's showing up in my brain space. I would have thought they would have been a bit like, there's buttons, or ABS. At least that's the car would be yelling that. I don't know.
Cladding.
Claddy daddy. I'm going to go, man. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to say this is a 1996 Pontiac Bonneville SSEI. Final answer, Bob.
Pontiac does not feel like your favorite easy chair.
Okay.
But it is faster, so you're halfway there.
Okay.
How can I help you out, sir? It is not a Bonneville. Love that car, though, as we all know.
Is it a GM product? Is probably too strong of a guess or of a hint. How about this? I absolutely definitively feel like this is from an OEM manufacturer. Is this a domestically manufactured product? Is this being sold under the nameplate of a domestic manufacturer?
This is absolutely being sold under such a manufacturer's nameplate.
Okay. That tracks. 295 horsepower V6. I still feel like I'm right in the wheelhouse of that, but they didn't. Man, here's the thing. Like, there's so much that was V6s of the era that I'm mentally carving out in my brain space that would have an advertisement like this. Generally at 205 horsepower, maybe a little bit more. We're talking forced induction. We're talking supercharged. But generally, they would scream from the top of the freaking mountains, supercharged. And it doesn't, at least in the copy here. So I still feel like the 205 horsepower mark is in the ballpark. I don't think this is like a Thunderbird Super Coupe. So I'm not going there. I don't think it's a Ford supercharged 3800. Chrysler V6s of this era were not doing 205 horsepower, I don't think like a Chrysler LHS. And it doesn't really read like that. If I was going to go Oldsmobile, we're talking. First off, in my head, Oldsmobile ads are way wordier because that's what they're targeting is people who still had literacy.
I like a good read.
Exactly. Let me sit down with this type copy and. It could be a Riviera, but I don't think it's a Riviera. Monte Carlo was too fake sporty. Boy. Read me the somewhat trademarked bit about the comfort level of the seat.
Yeah, it's with its new strategically contoured body sensitive seats, blank is exceptionally comfortable.
Damn it.
I'll be honest with you, the seats look fucking comfortable.
Well, they're body sensitive as opposed to those ones that are very like body aggro or sensitive or whatever.
For my sensitive body.
Exactly. Touch my body. Boy. I'm gonna say, you know what? I don't know how much time I have, but I know it's not a ton.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Could this be? This would not be a Cadillac product. Body sensitive. For some reason, I'm picturing like Body Glove, like the surfwear brand.
Yeah. Stop picturing that.
Is it a Body Glove? Body Glove edition would have been a clutch. It's got like the neoprene.
That'd be in like a CRX or something, right? Or a Del Sol. I could see that.
Element. Again, I don't think it's. You know what? I just, man, contour. Body sensitive. I'm gonna say this is a. I'm gonna say this is a Buick Park Avenue Ultra. Final answer, Bob.
That is definitely an easy chair, but not the one we're talking about today.
Okay, it's too easy of a chair, huh?
Too easy.
Yeah, it's not body sensitive enough.
No. We're gonna get there. You have nailed the manufacturer.
Okay. So I don't think it's a 98. I almost said the Riviera, the supercharged Riviera, which may or may not be it.
Spoiler, we have done the Riviera already.
Sure.
We're gonna make it through this together. So we've got the manufacturer. It's not a Riviera,
right?
Not a Park.
Oh, it's not a Riviera. Okay.
No, because we've already done it.
I know, but different gens. I don't know.
I think we did both actually.
Not a Riviera. I don't think it's like a 98.
I love pushing Frank's Buick knowledge.
God. What other? It's too much power for a Skylark. What else?
You're gonna kick yourself.
But I've got like 3 minutes of silence here to hustle myself through.
You have exactly 2 minutes.
Terrible,
of silence.
Terrible fucking radio.
I'm trying to help you along.
I know you are. No.
This is
don't silver platter me.
This is identical to the Bonneville mechanically.
Identically?
It's absolute identical stablemate.
It's not the Cutlass. No, that's Olds. Buick. It's not the Skylark. What was in, say, 1996?
It's a long-running nameplate too.
Wildcat. God damn it. Okay, you know what? I'm picturing it. I forgot about this car because they carried it over and it was also a stablemate of the Malibu for a minute. Is this the, say, a 1996? 97 Buick Regal GS? Final answer, Bob?
Regal. It feels like your favorite easy chair.
Yeah.
Only faster.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
I forgot about the Regal.
God, I think the Regal is like one of their better cars. I don't have a copy to show you. I can hold up my laptop like a freaking archaic creature. But as you can see here, this is the ad. Remember how good these things look? It's exactly the same as the Bonneville. And they kept making Regals for quite a while, right?
They did. And then I think for a while they like down trim some of them. So like, because for a while it was like They only came with the supercharged, and then they down trimmed some of them, so you got like the Regal Custom or whatever, and then the GS was the only one that got the supercharger.
So yeah, nailed it, dude. Good job. The one
sort of. I'm not proud of that one.
My point though, why they didn't mention supercharging is because at that time, like forced induction wasn't viewed as luxurious. It seemed a little too sporty, like kind of like
pshaw.
Maybe pushed it into that realm.
It was not Regal.
The seats look comfortable. They look really fucking comfortable. And I bet they were, because those Bonneville seats from the era. So this is a 95. So you're pretty spot on with your age. But these things have aged incredibly well. And if you want a like fast, comfy car that's going to last longer than you, because the 3800 is GM's probably their best V6, Buick Regal. All day.
Window regulators, you'll burn through those like once every 20,000 miles. But
wouldn't you rather do those than like head gaskets?
I would. Yeah. Plus, every time I would change the window regulators, I would listen to the song Regulators.
Would you mount up? Would you? Is that when you'd mount up the regulator with the screw at the right time? Regulators mount up.
Yeah.
Great car. I really have a soft spot for these GM like mid 90s cars. I think the Bonneville's still my favorite from Pontiac. But the Buick Regal, it's like, it does kind of have a sporty look to it, but it does remain like very stately. I think they were doing good things. I think compared to modern Buick, this is good Buick, right? This is still like, okay, this is a nice car, a well-made car, reliable. God,
Buick. How sad is it though to think back and be like, man, remember that badge engineered milquetoast sedan that they used to make? God, that was the pinnacle of that manufacturer in the last 30 years. Like, it is true.
God, it's true. Well, the Grand National, their Grand National is probably their bullet point for performance,
Grand National
execution.
The Regal Touring station wagon thing that we had for like an hour and a half, and like the teens was pretty solid. There's they made another Regal, like a GS that was like a Buick Verano spinoff.
Oh yeah,
that you can get you can get a turbocharged, like, was it 6-cylinder or 4-cylinder? I think turbocharged 4-cylinder with a
4-banger. Yeah,
like the Ecotec.
These 38s with a supercharger, just it's silky smooth, good power, and they do have amazing seats. So good car. Had to bring it up.
You remember? Now that we're just past the century mark, do you remember, I don't know, 80-something episodes ago when we did like a saving Buick episode?
Did we bring back the Regal? Is that what you're asking?
I don't remember if we brought back the Regal, but has Buick done absolutely anything positive since then? I think no.
Let me look real quick. Let me just check. Nope, same lineup. We're still in the same fucking lineup.
No, I think they've actually dropped a few off, right? Like you can only get like there's like an Encore and then a fancy Encore. You can only get like the medium Encore or whatever.
I'm pretty sure they're stretching frames at this point. I don't think they're actually manufacturing different platforms. I think it's one platform. They either stretch it, compact it a little bit, boom. Yeah. So begin with the letter E. Good.
They're not even laying that thing down, flipping it, and then reversing it.
God, no. And who had the ladder construction? Was that the Intrepid?
Yeah, no, that was what did they call it? That wasn't ladder. It wasn't Space Frame. That was Saturn. Boy, I don't remember what they called that.
Yeah, that was a tricky
was it cab forward?
That was part of it. That was part of Chrysler Group for sure.
Cloud cars, baby.
Cloud cars.
Speaking of cloud cars or crowd cars or my crowded parking lot or my chemical romance, what I've made the only progress I've made as far as project cars, not traditional PCP, which we still don't know what that actually stands for in the world of drugs.
Science.
Really, the only project car progress that I have made was the aforementioned timing chain tensioner that I did on the S2000 before the rally, which was not that difficult. It was like, it would have taken me well under an hour to do if I wasn't doing it in the dark with my cell phone flashlight, and I dropped a bolt a couple of times and it got complicated, but I figured it out and got that done, and it's been great. 700 and something hard miles on it, dead quiet, no more rattly timing chain situation, which is a not pleasant sound. I'm in good shape. And that's it. Like, put gas in it, drove it, did well. But no real progress other than that. How about you, sir? You get home, lick your wounds, or?
Yeah, no. So obviously, last minute change of cars. I was staying up working on the NX, and then saw the weather report. Switched up to Mini Cooper. All I had to do for the Mini Cooper was a fresh oil change, top off all the fluids, standard things for this stuff. Added some water wetter to the cooling system just in case, because it was going to be hot. We'd be pushing the car.
Gotta wet that water.
Little stuff too. Yeah. Windshield wipers. You can't make sure all your lights are working. Windshield wipers are important just in case you get some random weather. My secret ingredient, Frank, I didn't tell the other Mini guys this. So I was the only stock guy, right? So I was down on power. I added octane booster.
Ooh.
Don't tell Scotty Kilmer either. But anyway, this was an rev up your engines. Snake
Should
oil.
we get him? We need to get him on the pod.
Oh God, I bet we can.
We need. He'll probably demand like $12,000 or something.
No, I got a story I can share with you offline after this. But
okay.
Octane booster. So this was an East Coast time, a car just for a little while, and it was probably got used to 93 octane. So if you buy a quality octane booster, it actually is proven to raise the octane level by so many points, and I actually raised it to 93. So it did pick up a little power. I could feel it. Because it is used to 93 octane. All we have is 90 out here. So it brought it up to 93 and gave me a little boost against the modded minis. Boost, get it?
There you go.
Yeah.
Boostage.
Rev up your engines. Prepping the car.
Yeah. major progress by adding octane booster. But you know what? Can't argue. Can't argue with the result. Bloop, 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 bloop. Mechanic in a can. And I can thank all of y'all for listening along, putting up with our pointless banter, our misguided dick jokes, and our our beckoning of Scotty Kilmer. So thank you for doing all of that and putting up with our nonsense.
Question: What's misguided? The usage of the dick or the joke itself? Did it miss the target? What's going on? Misguided dick joke sounds. There's layers to peel back.
Like too close for meat missiles switching to guns. No, I don't know. It's like switching to tongues. I don't know. We're getting getting out of control.
Sending the beef boat to Tuna Town.
Oh no. Wow.
Okay, continue.
We are off the. I don't know where the rails are, but we're so far off them. I was attempting to thank y'all for participating in this. If you want to participate more, feel free to yell at us via the Instagram. That's going to be at APA Podcast on the gram. Otherwise, if you want to continue to distance yourself from having any evidence that you've actually interacted with us, that's a good thing. Continue to passively listen along on all of the places where you get your podcasts. If you want to get more of Chadwick, where would one imbibe your musk, sir? How would people access what you're picking up, what you're putting down?
I've been told the pheromone marking goes out about 5 miles, so just get kind of close to me and you'll pick up on it. Also, you forgot to mention our YouTube, where you can actually watch this podcast. Every episode is posted to YouTube with our faces. I was going to put an adjective in there, but that wasn't going to work. So personally, Auto Obsessive Garage for all your rescues, restorations, and reviews for turd boxes and all the likes. Also on Instagram. Frank, how about you? Where can the good people follow your work?
Boy, if you want to avoid me, which you should absolutely not check me out on Instagram and YouTube at The Photographer's Garage. Otherwise, you can find me on, I don't know, Farmers. I think I'm running out of cliche dating websites to toss up.
Time out. Running out. Does that mean mentioning like 5 to 10 times before you run out? Or
I know, but I can't think of new ones, right? Like I've done JDate, I've done Grindr. I mean, I haven't done them, but you know what I mean.
Well, I feel bad for your Google searches coming up because you're going to try to explore more options.
Yeah, there's going to be like Furryopolis. I don't know.
Do you share a laptop with your wife, Frank? Because that sounds like a bad idea.
No, it's I'm throwing it directly into a bucket of water the moment
it's for the podcast, baby. But why'd you upload so many photos? I'm telling you, it's research.
Why'd you put googly eyes on your sack and dangle it around in front of some kind of weird dating site that
those were special for us? No,
exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Jesus.
And on that note, you can get more googly eye humor right here. This time next week. And until then, thank you for putting up with our nonsense.
As always, guys, take care. Love you.
Toodaloo.